Hello guys, good afternoon. Guys, can you able to hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, can you please introduce yourselves? Please introduce yourself. First, is that Asad Hotel? Same sheet. Okay. Okay, fine. Then, yeah, connected. Yeah. So, good afternoon, guys. All are you from Dhananda Sagar University? Right. Okay. Can you please introduce yourself, madam? Yourself. Hmm. Which year, madam? Final year.
So myself Arshad, I'm from EC department, fourth year. Dinosaur College.
Kisina.
Yes.
BSc. DSU. Ah, okay. EC branch. Okay. Okay, guys, your turn. Online people, online students. So first, Akshata, please unmute yourself and just tell me about yourself.
Myself, Akshita Talur from CS Department, Dayanand Sagar University.
Okay. In which year you are?
Final year.
Okay. Fine. Thank you.
This.
Um, Alawi Hamid.
I am Alawi Hamid. I am
Yes.
from DSU
Okay.
CS department, final year.
Fine.
Yes.
uh, then Ashita.
Hello, myself Ashita. I'm from Computer Science Department, fourth year.
Okay, thank you. Bhargavi, Bhargavi Surendra. Bhargavi, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Myself, Bhargavi. I'm from DSU. I'm from civil engineering branch, and I've completed my civil engineering in the 2020 year branch. 2020
Finished,
year.
right? Finished. Okay. Omar Hassan.
Yeah, this is Omar Hassan from DSU CS department, final year student.
Yes, I am Saeed Abdurrahman from Computer Science Department, 2021 batch, Danan Sagar University.
Okay, fine, thank you. Shraddha, Shraddha Shetty.
Myself Shraddha. I'm from EC department, final year, Dayanand Sagar College of Engineering.
Your voice is low, madam.
Now, sir,
Not audible. Means you are not audible properly. Means voice is low.
now,
Yeah, please continue.
okay. Myself Shraddha, from EC department, final year, Dayanand Sagar College of Engineering.
Okay, fine, thank you. So, all you guys are here for web development course, right? So, you have any prior knowledge on web development? You have any prior knowledge? Any kind of like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, any basic knowledge? Any basic knowledge you have? HTML and CSS. So why do we need HTML and why do we need CSS?
HTML is for the content of all content. CSS is for styling the content.
Front.
Okay, those are front end only. Now, why do we need HTML? Whether HTML is the programming language or markup language? Is the
Not program language, sir.
So it is not the programming language, it is the markup language. HTML is the markup language. Now, nowadays, web development is in very high demand, right? So, lot of front-end technologies are coming each year. So, for example, Angular and React, they are the leaders as of now. Angular and React. Now, so in order to build a website, in order to build the web applications, we need to learn the web development. So basically, we are starting with HTML, hypertext markup language. Now, the latest version of HTML is 5.
قفل الباب حق.
Guys, please mute yourself. Keep muted. Keep muted yourself, please. See here, to learn HTML, to learn web development, basically, we need to set up our environment. We need to set up our environment. How are we going to set up our environment. So here you can go for any of the editors, small editors like Edit Plus, Notepad Plus, otherwise Sublime, like that you can go. Now, for our course, I'll be using Visual Studio Code. So the first step, how to download and install Visual Studio Code in the Windows. Visual Studio Code. What can you do is just go to this website. https://code.visualstudio.com/download. Go to this link. Keep one notes for this course. Okay. code.visualstudio.com/download. Now, this is the page you'll get under Windows. In my case, my environment is Windows. I'll be downloading for Windows. If in your case, if you are using Mac, you can go for Mac version as well. Now, according to your system architecture, if your system architecture is 64-bit, you can go for 64-bit. Otherwise, 32-bit. If your system is 32-bit architecture. In my case, that is 64-bit. Here, in the user installer, we are going for 64-bit. User installer. User installer 64-bit. It is about 69 MB. So download is finished. Double click on the downloaded file, either in Chrome, otherwise you can go for here, one option is there. three dots, downloads in Chrome. That is in Chrome. Show in folder. Here. Yes. Now double click on the downloaded file. Accept the license agreement. Click on next. By default, it is going to install in the C drive. I don't want to install this software in the C drive. Why? Because already OS is there. Already OS is there. So it might slow down my system. That is why other than C drive, other than OS drive, I'll be installing. So in my case, I have created one folder in the D drive called development softwares. Here, what I'll do, click on browse, go to the D drive, development softwares, development softwares. Select that folder, click on OK. So by default, it is going to create a folder for us. Now, don't include any of the spaces. If space is there, replace it with underscore. Click on next. Click on next. Now in this window, you can check all the checkboxes. You can select all the checkboxes, but last one is very much important. Check all the checkboxes. Click on next. Next. Install. Launch Visual Studio Code. Uncheck this. Click on finish. Now, for our course purpose, I'll be creating one folder. Going inside that folder, creating another folder called HTML. HTML. Now select that folder, right click, open with the code. This is one way of opening the Visual Studio Code. Another way, go inside this HTML folder, copy this content, open the command prompt, then type cd in the sense change directory, control V, press enter. Still we are not in the drive, still we are not in the F drive. What is the name of the drive? F. Give the name of the drive, colon. Now we are in the directory, HTML directory. Simply say code space dot. In this directory, Visual Studio Code will be opening. Otherwise, you can just go for right click and open with code. That is also possible. Now, select that folder, right click, open with the code. The very first thing we need to do after installing the Visual Studio Code, we need to install some of the extensions. We need to install some of the extensions that will be easing up our development process. Some of the extensions I need to install. What are those extensions? Here you will find one icon, this icon. If you click on this icon, it will be showing you all the installed extensions, and you can also search for the extension and you can install. So here basically what are all the extensions we need to install? The first one is better align. Better align. Simply if you go to this better align, search box is there. You can just type better align, that will pop up. Then click on that. You can just go for install. In my case, I have already installed. Okay. Second one, bracket pair colorizer. Bracket pair colorizer. Third one, live server. It is the most important one. Live server. Then lorem ipsum. Lorem ipsum. Then we have prettier code formatter. Prettier code formatter. Those are the very important extensions. Those are the very important extensions. You might want to restart the Visual Studio Code after installing. Just to close it and reopen. That's it. On the left side, there is a gear icon settings. Click on that. If you want to change the color scheme, here there is an option color theme. You can go for dark mode or light mode. There is an option here Explorer. Click on that. This is the File Explorer. Currently, we are in the HTML folder. Then whatever the subfolders we have, that will be listing out here. Now, if you want to create a new folder here, just to go for this icon, new folder. If you want to create a file, individual file, just to go for this icon, just to click on this icon. If you want to refresh, just to go for this. If you want to, whatever the expanded nodes are there, to shrink those nodes, you can go for this. And also here you can right click and create a new file folder. Now I'm creating one folder called app1. App1. Going inside that folder, a.html. Now, first I'll be talking about Emmet. What is Emmet? Emmet. Emmet extension is inbuilt in case of Visual Studio Code. Emmet is inbuilt. What it does? For example, here simply type exclamatory mark. You get the Emmet abbreviation. Emmet abbreviation. So if you just hit the enter, by default, boilerplate code will get template, HTML template. That is what we are calling boilerplate code. Okay. It is the default content we are getting through the Emmet. And also here, if you just type H1, Emmet abbreviation, assisting us. See, as of now, we don't want to worry about these meta tags because we don't have the sufficient knowledge in HTML as of now. Take out this, we don't need this. Then here, exclamatory doc type HTML. This declaration indicates that this particular document has been written by using HTML5. This particular document has been written by using HTML5. So it is informing the web browsers that this document has been written by using HTML5 version. While rendering, while browsers are rendering this web page, it is telling to the web browsers that this document has been written using HTML5 version. It is the syntax of HTML5, doc type HTML. And also here, we don't need this. You'll come to notice this later. Here in the body section, H1, heading 1. This is the tag or element. Tag or element. In case of HTML, tags are also called as elements. Elements. Now H1 tag or H1 element. Why do we need this H1 element? To indicate the headings in the web page. To indicate the headings in a web page. Now we have from H1 to H6. H1 to H6. I am from heading H1. Now shortcut to copy the previous line to the next line in Visual Studio Code. What you can do? Shift Alt down arrow. Shift Alt down arrow to copy the previous line to the next line. So we have from H1 to H6. H1 indicates the largest heading, H6 indicates the smallest heading. Whatever in between this opening and the closing tag, that is what we are calling content of that particular element. Content. Content of this H1 tag. This is the opening tag. This is the closing tag. Every tag will be having opening and closing tag except few. Every tag will be having opening and closing tags. Every element will be having opening and closing tags. While opening, using the angle brackets, the name of the event H1. While closing, angle brackets, in the beginning itself, forward slash, then the event. indicates the closing tag. Whatever inside between opening and closing tag, it is what we are calling content of that element. Content. Content of that element or content of that tag. Now, before doing anything, save this file. Now, after installing that live server, we'll get this icon, go live. Just click on this. This page will be rendering in a web browser. This page will be rendered in a web browser, in your default web browser. If it is asking like this, select both the checkboxes, allow access. Now, heading 1 indicating that largest heading, heading 6 indicating that smallest heading. Now, title element or title tag. What is the usage of this title tag? I think you have noticed whenever you open this document in the web browser, on top of it in the tab, you'll get that name document. That is exactly what we are getting through this title. Okay. Now, I can change the content of this title element or tag. Like home. Or index, anything. So this name will be visible in the tab. Now go to the browser. I think you have already noticed after saving it, it is automatically reloading. After saving it, it is automatically reloading. I don't have to reload explicitly. Automatically, live server only reloading it. Web page. You can modify anything here. Automatically, it is going to reload. I'll be changing some content here. I saved it. Go to the browser. You get the updated content. You don't have to reload. So that is the usage of that extension, live server. Then title element should be always within the header tag. title tag should be within the header tag. Title tag should be within the header tag. So this is the paragraph. Paragraph. This is the paragraph element. Paragraph tag also having opening and closing tag. Paragraph tag. If already one page is running, you need to click on stop. Then for this file, you need to click on go live once again. Go live. Now, as you can see, it is font size wise, it is somewhat maybe 10 pixels or 11 pixels. So this tag will be using to write the paragraph. Then also observe that after each paragraph, we are getting some space. Space we are getting. By default, we are going to get the space after each tag. Whatever the elements or contents that is there within the body, inside the body tag, whatever the tag we have, these tags will be these tags will be the content of these tags. The content of these tags will be visible in the web page. Whatever we have within the body tags, those tags content will be visible. That is the visible part in the web page. Now we have installed lorem ipsum. What is the usage of that lorem ipsum? If you just type elbow, will get the emmet abbreviation. What is the use? If you want to get some dummy text, duplicate some dummy text, okay, that text doesn't make any sense. Okay, if I want that, we can go for lorem. So I'm getting some text, dummy text, for testing purpose. Simply type lorem. You get the emmet abbreviation, press enter. Now automatically the code means this content is wrapping up. But when you install it for the first time, all these things will be in the single line only. Okay. When you install the Visual Studio Code, all these things will be in the same line. Why is that? We are getting in the same line. Same line. So if I want to see the content, I need to scroll. So it would be better if it is coming in the display itself. Okay. So that is why what I'm going to do. Word wrap. Turn on. Otherwise. Command palette. Word wrap. Command palette. Simply type word wrap. You get to enable or disable the word wrap. Disabled. To enable, go to the command palette once again. Control Shift P. So now it is displaying all the content in the display itself. So that is the usage of lorem ipsum. Now we'll talk about links in HTML. links. So we have this anchor tag, anchor tag, anchor tag, href. What is this href? This is the attribute, href attribute. This is the attribute, attribute is equal to, what is the URL? URL. This is the hyperlink, hyperlink. HTTPS www.google.com within the double quotes, within the double quotes. And also observe within the opening tag itself, within the opening tag itself, within the opening tag itself, I have declared one attribute, hyperlink attribute, href, that is pointing to one web page, that is pointing to one web resource, www.google.com. That is the web page. Within the opening tag itself, then what is the content of this element or tag? This is Google, or take me to Google search. So this text will be visible in the form of a link. This text, take me to Google search. This text will be visible in the form of a link in the web page. If you click on that link, it will be redirecting you to the google.com web page. Now anchor tag is having the both opening tag and the closing tag. Always remember that once you open a tag, you should close it. Once you open a tag, you should close it. Otherwise, in some cases, some of the browsers might not be rendering the content as you expected. Okay, might be changes. That is why always once you open the tag, compulsory close it. Some of the tags doesn't have the closing tag, ending tag. That you can leave it, no issues. Now here, HTML is the case insensitive. HTML case insensitive. That means you can write it in uppercase or lowercase. Doesn't matter. HTML is case insensitive. Not case sensitive. To go to the live server, you can also right click anywhere on this page, then open with live server. This is the paragraph, my first paragraph. Then this is the link. Take me to Google search. If you click on this, it will be redirecting you to the Google search page. Now, how to include images? Images. So let me download any of the image from the website, from the internet. So here, if you want to get the copyright free images, okay, so you cannot use all the images that is in the internet. Why? Because some of the images are copyright. If you are using it for commercial purposes, there will be a issue. Okay, so that is why always you should use the commercial, that means what, copyright free images. So one of the website where you can get the copyright free images, you can go for Pixabay. 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 So type anything you want. I'll be downloading, sorry, I'll be searching for technology. Technology. So I'll be saving this image. Observe please carefully here. Right click on this image. Here we should go for save image as. Save image as. Where you should save this? Actually, it is the WEBP file. I just want to download the normal JPG or PNG file. Let me see whether available or not. So click on here. Free download is there. You can go for any of the resolution. All are in the JPG format. Simply I'll be clicking on download. Select this. Click on download. Now, image is downloaded. Open the folder. I'm renaming this image to simply laptop. Laptop. Copy this image. Go to the folder where your HTML file is there. Inside the app1, we have this d.html. Inside the app1 folder, we have this d.html. Now what I'll do, HTML app1. So here, I'm keeping that image. Paste that image. Laptop. Now in Visual Studio Code, if you want to close other tabs, right click on that current tab. You can close the current tab or you can close all other tabs except current tab. Otherwise, you can go for close the tabs that are right except current tab. Now I'll go for close others. Only d.html will be there. Now okay, we'll see that later. Here, using img tag, img, type img, image tag. You'll be getting two attributes, src and alt. Src and alt. Src indicates the source. Source. What is the source? Now here, Alt is there. Alt indicates that alternative text. If because of some issue, if the path is invalid or if the image is broken, file is corrupted, in that case, this alternative text will be visible. Now, I want to include that image here. So here, simply type L, you'll get the suggestion. In the current folder, I just save laptop.jpg. Select that image. As alternative, you can keep laptop image. Save it. Include one heading, text2, using img tag or element. Save it. If currently live server is running, stop the live server, close the live server, then again go live. So you are getting this laptop image somewhat, it is big. The resolution is big, right? Resolution is big. So for this, what can I do? Width is the another attribute. Width. I'll be going for 300. 300. Save it. Go to the browser. That image resolution is decreased to 300 pixels. Now, while you are setting the width, height will be automatically adjusting. Height will be automatically adjusting. Still, if you want, we can go for height. Still, if you want, you can go for height. Height. Something like 300. Save it. But in case of, if you just save width, height will be automatically adjusting. You don't have to give the height. Height will be automatically adjusting. This is one way. Another way. Now here, let's talk about the comments. I want to comment this line. Okay, this much content I need to comment. What are comments used? Why we need to use the comments? For what purpose comments are used? For what purpose we'll be using the comments? Display what?
Display whatever we need on the device.
On the web page. Is that right? See, comment is just for our information purpose. Okay, while writing the code, that particular code, what it does, what is the functionality. For the programmer, it will be useful. What is going on this particular code block? I can write it using the comment that won't be visible on the web page. Simply, browsers will be ignoring the comments. browsers will be ignoring the comments. The usage of comments is for information purpose for the program. How to use the comments? Here, angle bracket, left angle bracket, that is less than symbol, exclamatory mark, double dash. Whatever you write here inside, that will be the comment. That won't be visible on the web page. While closing, double hyphen greater than symbol. Double hyphen greater than symbol. The comment. Now go to the web page. The comments are not displayed. It is just for information purpose. Now, in Visual Studio Code, I want to comment some particular lines. Select that lines. Control K, Control C. Control K, Control C. Select that portion, then press Control K and Control C. Those lines will be coming under comment. That is the shortcut. Save it and go to the web page. Now image won't be visible. Why? Because img tag I commented. Image tag I have commented. There is another way to include the link, to include the file. Just to say /, laptop.jpg. Observe carefully. Here, while you press this /, it is asking in which folder that image is available. In the app1 folder, we have that image. In app1 folder, we have that image. Now here, what you can go for? Laptop.jpg / app1 / laptop.jpg. Why? Because when I opened this Visual Studio Code, I have opened HTML, right or wrong? HTML folder, not the app one, not the app one. I just the current directory, we don't have that image. Within the app one, we have that image. That is what I'm giving that /. Now, this is another way. One more way. This is the most meaningful way. We say dot. So carefully. I'm commenting this. From here, what you can do. Dot represents current directory. Dot represents what? Current directory. In the current directory or folder, we have this laptop.gpg. This is another way. This is the best way. Now, if I miss something, I'm sorry, extension I missed, save it. Now, alternative text will be visible in place of laptop image. Laptop image, alternative text. If any problem is there with loading this image, then alternative text will be visible. That is why we are keeping this alt attribute. Now here, I have the paragraph tag. I have the paragraph tag. Inside that, I have some content. Save it. Go live. See, why I'm getting this message in the sense, whatever that has been displayed on this web page, it is not in the English language. It might be in the Latin language. That is why I'm getting this message. Do you want to convert it to the English? Like that it is going to ask. How to avoid it, that we'll see later. As you know, we'll be getting the some space. We'll be getting some space. We'll be getting some space after each and every paragraph element or any tag. Some space we are getting. Now, I want to get more space. We can go for line break by using BR tag. BR tag. It is only having the opening tag. It doesn't have the closing tag. That in the sense, we are closing in the opening itself. We are closing the tag in the opening tag itself. To get the line break. Line break. To get some space. To get some space. Now you can observe the difference. We got some space here. Any amount of space you can get using BR tag. So this is the example, a tag which is not having the ending tag. In the opening tag itself, we are closing the tag. If you want to get a line break in the middle of the paragraph content, you can keep that here and all. I need the break. Save it, and here wherever you get line break, it's coming in the next line. The content after that is coming in the next line. Now, see here, what I'll do, I'll give lot of spaces here. Okay, lot of spaces. Lot of spaces. When you save it, if you see this content in the web page, what happens? Let me do one thing. Let me remove all this line breaks and we are right. Otherwise, here, I'll make one paragraph back. Lauren. Here, I'll give a lot of space for the last paragraph. Some space. So, if you enter in the web browser, in the last paragraph, I'm not getting any white spaces that I have given, right? Why? Because HTML is white space collapsing. HTML will be collapsing the white space. Extra white space. HTML is white space collapsing. Whatever the unnecessary spaces you have given, that will be removed. But still, if you want, there is a way that we'll see later. Those spaces will be removed. This is what we are calling white spaces. White spaces. Now, by default, what I'll get? If you open this web page, you get this letter, this notification. I want to avoid that notification. So what you should do? What you should do? Here, there is a in the HTML. The HTML lang attribute. Explicitly, I'm only saying that whatever the content has been written in this web page, it is written by using English US version. English US version. US English. Now it is not going to ask me to translate that page. Now we are not getting that notification. Now, So some of the styles we'll see. Okay, some of the styles for now. So much there is to learn in styles. Some of the styles, basics. Within the opening tag itself, paragraph tag. Style is the attribute, color is the CSS property, then red is the CSS value. Style is the attribute, color is the CSS property, colon, red is the CSS value, property value, pair, property value, CSS property and value. In detail, we'll come to know about the CSS later. If you simply say color, whatever the content you have within this tag, this text will be displayed in the red color. You can go for any color. By default, color is black. Okay. If you are not giving any color, the default color is black. Now I'll go for something like blue. Automatically you'll get this suggestion. See, here, this is not the code. Okay, don't confuse it with the code. It is just a display. Okay, feature of Visual Studio Code. Don't think that we should include this also. Okay, while you are working in another text editor like simple text editor. Okay, this won't be there. Simply you can say color colon any color. That color will be changed. Any color you can go. You can go for background color. Don't forget to include this semicolon. Okay, don't forget to include this semicolon. After each and every CSS property and value, you should give the semicolon. Like this, we might have so many properties and values. That is why semicolon. Background color, right? For this element, paragraph element, background color will be red. Now, what I do for the body, background image. So body background will be that image. Now this is the URL. Universal resource locator. This is what we are calling relative path. There are two things, absolute and relative path. Absolute and relative path. Then PNG, SRC. Here, go to the web browser, choose any of the image. For example, some image. Right click, copy image address. Okay, copy image address. Within the SRC, paste that. This will be very lengthy. Okay, very lengthy, annoying in some cases. We are going for Google and search the image. Okay, here copy any of the image. How you are copying? Right click and copy image address. Now whatever is there here, paste it. See length. So first we'll see whether that image is visible or not. Some image. Save it. Go live. If you have your active internet connection, you get this image. This is what we are calling absolute URL. We can also short this. Okay, we can also short this URL. There is a process. Now, as of now, it is not necessary. Still, I'll show you. Uh, link short free. Here, whatever the content we have, this much, everything. Copy this, paste here, shorten. Provided link is incorrect. Okay. Some image, copy image address. So here, this link is shortened. Copy this, paste that, save it, go to the browser. Fine. So it is enough for introduction class. Okay. So please make sure that you have installed and configured everything whatever I said today. Okay, everything should be ready. So practice all these things whatever I covered today. Let me take the attendance for you. So Bhargavi, please
Yes, sir, present, sir.
yeah. Please answer your attendance. Yashaswini, Sai Shri Lahari, Kulla Rishika, Samat, Samrat, Samrat, Srinivas, Srinivas, yes. Madhushri, Rahul Gowda, Sachin PR, Harsha B, Abhishek PN, Sunil Kumar, Shraddha,
Yes, sir.
Saurabh S. Jain, Namrata, Archana, Omar,
Yes, sir.
Alavi,
Yes, sir.
Saeed Abdul Rahman,
Yes, sir.
Ashita,
Present, sir.
Akshata,
Present, sir.
Rahul Belavadi. See, uh, you know, the names. If you are not finding the names, can you just tell me your names? Who are names? I did not call. I'll just include those names. So do one thing. If anybody's name is not here in the attendance, what you can do is just ping me on this number, WhatsApp number. Done? Practice all these things. Okay. Tomorrow at 4 o'clock, we'll resume back. Okay. Thank you. Have a good day.